Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. I am glad to be back. So I was on X, known as Twitter, and Meet Kevin, my favorite hero, made a very interesting tweet. In this, what do you even call them now? X's? I just X'd, bro. But in this tweet, Meet Kevin said, I think the stock market is about to take a very big dump, a big, steamy, nut-encrusted dump. And I've been holding cash since March. And I've noticed a lot of the grifters have all been transitioning their portfolios to cash because, well, stocks have gone up basically in a 45-degree angle. Market's up like 20-something% in the last year. So, of course, their natural conclusion is, well, since it went up, it therefore must come back a little bit because that's how stocks always work forever, right? And they may be right. But once again, I want to try to warn you people, especially if you're new to my channel. I mean, basically, I just have repeat viewers. But if you're a new viewer to this channel, I want to reiterate the importance of having a long-term focus in your investment strategy. And I also want to warn you of how absolutely dangerous people like me, Kevin, are, who focus on the short term. Now, what is the point of investing? Why do we invest? Well, number one, we hopefully protect our money from inflation because the dollar and every other currency around the world does get devalued over time. That's just how it is. So investing gives us a hedge against inflation, and it also allows us to grow our wealth to accomplish a specific goal. What's the goal? Well, it could be having a down payment for a home. It could be having money for retirement. It could be funding your kids' college. Investing gets you to a certain goal. And the investments that you pick are really determined on the goal that you need. If you want to build wealth over your entire lifetime, maybe you can invest in more volatile assets that have higher expected returns. If you need money in the next 2 or 3 years, maybe you should park that money in a certificate of deposit or into short-term treasuries. Your goal determines what you invest in. Now, when you look at a channel like Meet Kevin, what's he doing? Well, he's like trading options, and he's going to cash, and he's buying Tesla, and he's selling Tesla, he's shorting, and basically he's just doing random things. Now you have to sit back and you have to ask yourself, what is Kevin's goal with all this? Does he ever explicitly state why he's doing what he's doing? Or is it just kind of like meaningless churn and trading? Obviously, it's meaningless churn and trading. You have to be, when you allocate $1, you need to have a goal for that dollar. Because if you don't have a specific goal for that dollar, you're not going to be able to stick with your investing plan. It's going to be a lot harder because you don't really know what you're doing with that dollar. For example, when I put $1 into my Roth IRA, guess what? It's going to purchase VT, the total world index. And I'm not going to sell it for 30, 40, 50 years, however long. Maybe I'll never sell it. Maybe I'll die with it. And there is a specific goal for that dollar. So when market events happen, I don't worry about it because I know why that dollar is where it is. And I know I don't need to worry about that dollar because it's invested for the long run. You get no context with people like Meet Kevin. They basically just watch the market for, I don't know. Why do they watch the market? Oh, actually, I do know. It's to generate content. But you have to ask yourself, are you trading or are you a long-term investor? Now, some of you, if you're literally just traders, okay, I guess Meet Kevin might have some value. But if you're a normal person, you don't have time to trade, number one. And number two, you can't waste your precious dollars on trading in the short term because you don't have that much money you can save. You have kids, maybe. I guess a lot of you don't anymore. You have bills. You don't make $1 million or multi-million dollars a year. You have precious little money to allocate. And if you do allocate that money, you need to have a plan with that money. And you need to make sure you're not doing something highly risky or stupid with that money. That is what is important to you as the everyday investor. Therefore, if you're thinking about short-term fluctuations in the market, you're misguided. And who is making you think about that? Well, obviously you're searching for financial news, which is a bad thing. You shouldn't be doing that if you're a long-term investor. And number two, Meet Kevin is providing that for you. He's making you feel like you're doing something, like you have an edge, like you're learning something. And that's not what long-term investing is all about. If you are investing for the long term, you buy a total market index and you hold it for decades. I'm not joking here. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not just saying this to say it. Oh, I'm a long-term investor. I am a long-term investor. When you invest in an index, you hold it for decades. A total market index, specifically for retirement, for example, you will hold it for decades, depending on your age. That is all that matters. Do not go to cash. If you are a long-term investor and you're not selling your stocks for 20 or 30 years, if you see Meet Kevin's tweet, do not act based on what he is telling you, because what he's doing has nothing to do with your specific goals. Nothing whatsoever. There's no context to his tweets. Be careful with these people. They generate content so they can get ad revenue. That is all that matters to them. And of course, I generate content as well, but I have a very consistent message. These people are just watching the market, posting the most outrageous things, the most useless information to make you feel like you're sophisticated. And you will make a mistake. If you go all cash and the market rips up, you're going to feel like an absolute idiot, especially if you don't need the money for 20 or 30 years. There is no reason to listen to Meet Kevin and go 100% cash or whatever freaking allocation he is. It's useless garbage. So hopefully this is kind of giving you some warning about how evil and dangerous these people can be, because what they're telling you is not designed for you. It's just them being clowns in their own accounts and basically sharing that clownery to make you feel like you're sophisticated. I'm not going all cash. I am 100% VT. Oh, correction, 98, 99% VT. And I'm not doing anything. If there's a correction, if the stock market takes a dump, I don't care, because I know why the money's there. I know I'm not going to sell it for 30, 40 years. It is so useless to act on information and short-term fears in the market. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Cheers.